Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your continued support. Now, after the pensioners, the disabled, the vulnerable, they're now after the SEND kids, the special educational needs kids. Unfortunately, it looks as though it's going to be worse than parents originally thought it was going to be, because the government had said that existing situations, existing setups would be protected, but now it looks as though they've changed the wording a little bit, which is making parents of SEND kids very uneasy, and in fact terrified is one word that's been put. And I can understand the reasons why, because I was a special educational needs kid myself back in the day, and and I really got a lot of good out of it. I had a very positive experience from it. And I know that a lot of children who are in the SEND departments do have the same kind of support, and they actually thrive under those conditions. So I can understand why a lot of parents are unhappy by this. I think personally it's another cost-cutting exercise, because these EHCPs can be quite costly to local authorities. Obviously, they are there for a reason. They're there because they're needed, but because they are in law, the local councils can't do anything about it, which is one of the reasons why they are so important to a lot of children and parents. But I want to show you an article now which is going to talk about how parents are now becoming very uneasy by new wording that the government are putting forward. Let's take a look. Right, SEND parents terrified as ministers drop promise to protect all current support. Ministers have backtracked on their promise to protect all existing provisions from children with special educational needs and disabilities in a controversial shake-up due to be unveiled later this year. The government had been reassuring parents of children with SEND that any changes to the system would protect provision currently in place, as it prepares for reforms expected to phase out the often costly Education, Health and Care Plans, EHCPs. But ministers have quietly introduced a huge caveat saying that effective provision will be protected, without clarifying what that means. The news has provoked a backlash from parents who are already alarmed by the prospect of losing hard-won EHCPs that provide legal guarantees of support for their children. Hayley Harding, a solicitor and co-founder of the SEND campaign group Let Us Learn Too, said she was massively disappointed by the government dropping its promise to protect all children currently SEND provision. Parents right now are terrified that their children's support is going to be taken away. This just makes it worse, she told the iPaper. So many parents have had to battle for years to get what their children currently have. Taking it away would be cruel. Parents' fears were highlighted this week when Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson declined in Parliament to explain what effective meant and who would judge what is effective. If ministers had stuck by their pledge to protect and not take away any current provision and support, it would have meant that the state would continue paying for everything from dedicated teaching assistants to places at expensive private special schools specified in hundreds of thousands of EHCPs. And I think that's the key here, expensive. And I think that's the reason why the Labour Party are now targeting SEN children, because they believe that it's costing too much money. And basically anyone who's vulnerable, anyone who's taking money out of the state is a potential target now. So it's not just going to end with SEND kids or the disabled or the vulnerable or the elderly. Anyone now, I think, who takes money out of the government for whatever reason is going to be a target. So it's not just going to be the vulnerable. Lots of other people who potentially use government services or provisions from local councils could end up having their money taken away, which is absolutely ridiculous. Let me know down in the comment section what you think about this, about the SEND provisions potentially being removed. Let me know what you think. Do you think that the government are right to cut down on the amount they spend on SEN children? Or do you think that this is just another cost-cutting exercise, and actually they just don't really care about anyone who is relying on the state? Let me know down in the comment section what you think. Please do subscribe to push this channel forward, and I'll see you next time.